Welcome to ChampionsHeart. You can't play boxing. Featuring boxing addict Johnny Farache and friends from superfans to superstars. Let's roll.
Hey, boxing fans. Today is Tuesday, August 25th, and I'm joined by Hall of Fame publicist from 15rounds.com, Mr. Marc Abrams.
What's up, Johnny? How you doing? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How's everybody in Philadelphia?
Everything's good. A little humid out today. Might rain a little bit, but other than that, everything's terrific.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Let's get right to it, man. What a weekend in boxing, huh, man? What'd you take away from the big upset of Alexander Povetkin's knockout over Dillian Whyte?
Very shocking. Obviously, Povetkin was down twice in round 4, and it just seemed like a formality that the fight was going to be over in round 5. But yeah, it was over in round 5. But the shocking uppercut from Povetkin ends the title hopes from Dillian Whyte temporarily, or maybe forever, because heck, he was the #1 contender for over 1,000 days and couldn't get a title shot. So now there's going to be looks like a rematch in November, December, and then Whyte may still have to fight his way back into contention.
Do you think this actually gives more to where Povetkin's at right now, or it takes away more from where Dylan thought he was?
I think a little bit of each. I think the first 4 rounds it seemed more of like where Povetkin's at, in the sense that he was brought in to fight Whyte for a reason, in the sense that Eddie Hearn knew he had the mandatory shot with a win, and he wanted to fight a guy with a good name. Povetkin hasn't looked great in his last couple fights, so it fit the ingredients perfectly. But I guess Povetkin, after round 4, I guess ripped up the memo, and he didn't look at the memo, and he ripped up the letter, and he landed the shot, and now we sit where we're at with Povetkin and Whyte, and staring down a rematch.
Yeah, I agree. And, like you said, he hasn't looked great in his last couple of fights. He didn't look great in the first 4 rounds either.
No.
Got knocked down. He looked slow. He didn't look anything of what he was.
Correct.
And then from nowhere, boom, that slip to the left, that uppercut with the left hand was beautiful.
Correct.
Wow, did that find its mark, though, huh?
Absolutely, right on the chin.
Yeah. Knockout of the year?
It's up there. I don't remember anything that happened before March. I'll have to, sit back
Wow.
and, think about it. But yeah, there's, definitely in the contendership, in the running for it.
Anything before March was a different era in life.
Yeah. I don't remember anything before March, to be honest with you. Yeah. I was at the Fury Wilder fight, and it seemed like it was 10 years ago.
Wow, right. Also on that card was a huge win for Katie Taylor with a rematch in Delphine Persoon. What a fight that was, that first fight. The second fight coming in, Katie Taylor made all the right adjustments.
Second fight was a very good fight. Wasn't quite as good as the first fight. And, maybe, and a lot of people still think Persoon won the second fight. She threw like 400 more punches and landed a few more punches. It was a good fight. I thought Taylor may have eked it out. I'm not crying about the decisions like some other people are, but it was a very good fight, and all hats off to those 2 girls who put on 20 terrific rounds of boxing, and we'll see what's next for Katie Taylor.
Yeah, and then what's that? Does this line up a fight possibly with her and McCaskill?
Well, obviously they fought already once, and Katie won that fight over in England, and very well could happen. You got McCaskill, you got Taylor. It all depending on what weight we're going to do this at. I guess 140 pounds. McCaskill went up to about 144, 145 for the fight with Brackus. And, obviously, I hope that they can resurrect these talks with Amanda Serrano and make that fight happen.
Yes. Women's boxing, wow, it's really just come alive here in 2020 during this COVID.
Correct.
COVID kind of gave everyone the opportunity to watch
some
these
really
good
fights. Harper and Jonas a couple weeks ago. So yes, there's been some really good female fights, and I think it's I've talked to some women fights, and just there's a little bit more depth now. Than more girls are getting interested in it, and we're going to see some more good fights. The more and there's definitely more than a handful. There's plenty of more good female fighters out there who we're going to, get to know hopefully in the next year or so.
A lot of great female fighters, and it's just actually kind of growing along as it did. I mean, female boxing really only started, in the late 80s, early 90s, maybe. I mean, that started visualizing. Now, Ring Magazine is going to start putting their rankings out.
Yeah, they put the rankings out the other day, so that's a great step in the right direction for women's boxing.
Speaking of the women's pound for pound list, they put out a few of the divisions. I think they're going to put the rest out this week. But they did list the pound for pound top, and Claressa Shields, does she hold your number one spot there?
You know what? I guess I haven't given it much thought. She's won titles in I think 3 different weight divisions now, or 2. Maybe she's going for the 3rd. Yeah, I would have to say so. I mean, I would like to see her, get a couple real emphatic victories to really solidify that top spot. But, obviously with the loss of Breakus, who had, her claim to it, to that top spot, you'd have to probably put Claressa Shields at the top of that list right now.
Right. Plus, there's no one north of that 140, 152 that could even compete with that. I mean, they can compete, but, are not giving a run for their money, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We thought the Hammer was going to. And,
but like I said, over the next couple of years, we'll see some more girls develop into contenders for, a shot at Shields and a shot at some of these other girls.
Yeah. And as the female boxing progressives and it grows, you're right. Those females right now are in the gyms hungry. They're training. They're watching, and they'll come along. Mm-hmm. That's good. Sure is. Another big win, Joe Smith Jr. Big win over Elider Alvarez. What'd you take about his impressive win?
He was terrific in the fight. He won just about every round, and he just really beat down Alvarez in that fight, and he found, slowly but surely, and Smith, he has a tree chopping business, and he deals with trees, and he literally chopped down Alvarez a little at a time, and then bang in the 9th round, knocked yet another guy through the ropes.
Yeah, big win. So obviously improved his stock greatly. Where does this put him in the top 5? The top 2?
Well, he's going to fight the winner of Salamanov and Vlasov for the WBO title. I know they're having some visa issues with that thing, so there could be a couple things that go Joe Smith's way. If somehow they can't make the other half of that bracket, I think they will. He's going to he'll either wind up fighting the winner, or they may deem him the champion, and maybe he gets a fight right away with Beterbiev. They all have relationships now with the Top Rank. Joe Smith, promoted by Joe DeGuardia, is Star Boxing, and they have some kind of relationship now with Top Rank, because this was the 2nd straight fight, the Jesse Hart fight. Now this fight that was on the ESPN platform. So a fight with Beterbiev should be a somewhat easy fight, to make.
Our 2020 Fighter of the Year, Clay Collard, got it done again.
5 for 5 in 2020. He's probably the only one in this country that doesn't want this year to end, probably.
Yeah, right. He's made the most of it, that's for sure. And Shawn Porter went 12 rounds with the working man Sebastian Formella, who stood in there and took all he could take.
Yeah, very easy win, and now he's going to sit back and, probably wait to see what happens November 21st with Danny Garcia and Errol Spence, to see if he can get a rematch of one of them. Obviously, he's got the win over Garcia, lost that thrilling fight to Spence last September. So, that's the position he's in. And, I don't see him fighting again before, or I don't see him taking another fight rather than one of those 2 gentlemen.
Right. Well, definitely looking forward to all of that unfolding, and as we inch closer. There's a lot of good boxing, a lot of great boxing on. This weekend was fabulous. I mean, Saturday was a fun weekend to watch boxing again. Exciting to see some very competitive fights. Yeah. Exciting to see some big knockout wins. The upsets, it was all really, really good.
Yeah.
Speaking of what's to come, this Saturday night super fight I'm looking forward to. I don't know, super fight, but it was very close. Ramirez Postal. That's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, I like Ramirez. Postol may have a couple extra treads on his tires. Ramirez is, the young guy. He sees a big fight in, maybe one fight away with Josh Taylor for all the marbles at 140 pounds. So I expect him to come through with a good performance on Saturday.
Excellent. That's,
and another thing it does, almost subconsciously, let's see if he can get Postol out there in, maybe a better fashion than Terrence Crawford did. So a fight, with Crawford and Ramirez down the line, kind of would bring a nice storyline to it.
Right. They've already kind of initiated a little bit of the jaw jacking. So, yeah, that would have a great storyline behind it. I'd love to see him jump up to welterweight. That's on ESPN+. You also have this weekend from London, Daniel Dubois, who's fighting. This is just, a next fight. Hopefully he can get closer to Jojo, so that would put him in line.
With a win, that's next. I mean, that we all know that. So he should beat this late replacement, pretty handily.
Right. And then on Fox, you have Erislandy Lara jumping in.
Yeah, against Greg Vendetti. This should not be the most competitive fight in the world, I guess, to fight for Lara. I mean, they're calling it a title fight, and I see Vendetti is ranked in the top 15 in WBA, but I like Erislandy Lara big in this fight.
Right. He's been around forever now. Erislandy Lara, where do you put him in the junior middleweights? I mean, I know he's kind of been there. He's had the title. He didn't, he lost it, but he's still, can he take that division back over?
Well, he may get a chance as, obviously we got the Jamel Charlo Rosario fight coming up in September 26th for 3 of the belts. And you got Lara there. You got Julian Williams is still, he's going to get his opportunity again. And, there's some other guys. We actually saw a guy who could be a tough out in the future fight on Saturday at 154 pounds. Big Sebastian Fundora. He may have something to say to this 2, 3, 4 fights down the road as well.
Yeah, another one I forgot, too, to bring up, to be mentioned, Joey Spencer's performance looked pretty good this weekend.
He looked pretty good as well. Yeah, obviously he's 154 pounds, but he's 2-3 years away at this point, in my opinion. Good kid. I interviewed him last week. Very nice young man.
Yeah, I wanted to give him the prop, definitely. So I thought he did real good. He sat down. He got to work this win. His last fight, he didn't look so unfair in my mind, but this time he got to work. I loved what I saw out of him. Also, Alfredo Angulo, Caleb Truax.
Should be
an IBF eliminator.
Should be an action-packed fight. 168 pounds, and like I said, very interested. Angulo come up to win against Quillen, so he deserves just another opportunity. Yep. And he was in a war. And him and Truax comes to fight again. I think it should be another exciting fight.
Yes. Other things.
In fact, the co-feature maybe is probably gonna be better than the main event.
I love it on Fox too. I love it. To be noted, Robert Garcia will be back this week in Ramirez's corner.
Saw that, yep.
Clean bill of health.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. I myself had a little scare last week. Got like a stomach flu or something. Did the COVID test, quarantine, got a clean bill of health. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about that. So we spoke about this before, and it's kind of crazy even to think Oscar De La Hoya is thinking about a serious return to boxing.
I don't.
Not this exhibition, but he's about competing with the top of the division.
I'll believe it when I see it. That's what we'll see. I think, and as it gets closer, maybe I'll believe it more. But, until, we have a possible opponent, possible date, some sparring footage or training footage, and, and the guy said his jab is better now than it was when he was competing. Come on.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot more than that. And at 47 years old?
Yep.
It's just there's too many things lost at that point. His last fight with Steve Forbes was not his best fight by any means.
Well, actually, his last fight was with Manny Pacquiao getting beat up all over the place.
I'm sorry, check that fight before that last fight. Check. And Manny Pacquiao,
Forbes was the fight before where he looked not good in that fight either. So. Correctamundo.
Anything else brewing on your side over there? Any fun stuff, fun facts in the boxing world?
Nope. Just pushing along, just doing my thing, and excited to watch some more fights this week.
Yeah, great fight this week. All right, my man. We'll wrap up here. We'll get together again next week. Talk about some more boxing, my man. Until then, dream big, live large, love life. We'll chat again soon, okay?
Will do. God bless and thank you for having me.
Thanks, Marc. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.